into specifically what I'm going to specifically go into tips for searching today. So that's using the search tab on Wizard or the map tab as well to search for properties. And then there's also another tab called resources that'll briefly go over as well. So I'm going to share my screen. It's basically just going to be me sharing my screen, walking you through this process. So here we are. Alrighty. Which screen do you see though? Do you see my wizard screen? Okay, all right, sweet. So I'm logged into one of our practice accounts that has archaeology access right now. So you'll notice that your wizard might look different if you have maybe only HPI access, maybe you're not an archaeologist or a cultural resource professional. So it might just look a little different with the settings in there, but basically it's going to be the same idea. So first we're going to get into the search tab. So you can access the search tab either when you're on your home page, clicking this button here, or if you're in like another tab already, the search tab up here. So go ahead and click that. It will take you to this page. There's obviously, as I mentioned, various categories on the side here. So this is what you'd see if you have archaeology access. We're just going to focus mostly on properties today, as I am a built environment person. So I'll walk you through that. But there's two ways to search through this. Either you can search through the specific types or categories themselves, or you could do just a general search throughout all the categories. So for the general search, there's this search tab up here. I'll just input silos and then make sure that you hit enter, because that's the only way it'll take it. And you'll see that it narrowed down the categories here. So I could click into properties to see any mention of silos in the property tab. Just to note, it only looks specifically in the property tab. It's only searching the historic name, the common name, and the address. So there's other categories that it might not search as well. And another thing that's important to note is it's not a Boolean search, so you can't just search like a library system. So putting quotations or like one word and then another word doesn't work that way. So it's kind of limited in that way, but just so you know. Yeah, so I'll also just show you, I'm just going to refresh this page. If you want to clear the search, the exit or the X is kind of weirdly over here right now, but I'll just clear that and it clears all the results. And then also something to note, be patient. It sometimes takes a minute. You'll see that some of them are still loading on the side here, like property. So we'll just search now in a specific category next. So looking at the property tab, as soon as it loads, you'll see that there is the filter tab, little icon right here. So go ahead and click that. And then you'll see in each of these categories, they have specific search criteria for them. So for properties, there's some, historic name, common name. You can search eligibility status. So if DAHP has said it was eligible for the National Register or not eligible. You can even search by the style of building. So there's plenty of options here. Just for today, I'll put silo in for the historic name. So silo, and again, make sure you hit enter. It won't save the results unless you hit enter. And then I'll just search for determined eligible silos. And then, so yeah, once that's all done, go ahead and hit apply. And again, it might take a minute. There we go. So you'll see there's 13 silos that we have recorded as eligible in Washington. So let's see here. So yeah, searching the specific category is a way to get more specific results, which is pretty helpful. I most of the time will search in a specific category if I know what I'm looking for. There's also some buttons on the side here when you do a search that you can either like sort the results. So say I want to see the results in order of like property IDs. So there's that little up arrow, down arrow. Go ahead and click that and say I want to sort them by property ID. And then just hit sort and it will, put them in order after a second. There we go. Or you can export the results of the search that you performed. Sometimes you need to do like records searches or something like that for a cultural resource survey. So you can either export it as an Excel sheet. So that's that little, CSV icon, or you can export it as a PDF. So for just example, I'll click the PDF one, and then it just uploads it right here. You will notice that some of the results will come up twice. So for example, the Herzog silo, that's just a little wizard bug, it's the same record, it has the same property ID, but sometimes they just show twice. So, it's one of the many little quirks of Wizard, but, uh, you know, and you can, and it's also important to note that the results are limited to 3,000 results. So if a search, if you're searching for like, say, I don't know, residents, there's more than 3,000 residences in Wizard. So, it won't let you export it. All right. And then I'll just go into also like, so, we did the search, we have some silos here, and then what you can do with those search results. So we'll just look at, actually, we'll look at this one. Sure, the Pleasant View Dairy Harvest Store silo. So, it gives you a little preview of the information here, like the address, the county, the property ID. So you can click that anywhere in the box itself, and it will open up the information and add some more information for you. So I'm going to click this Expand All button, and you'll be able to see the images in the historic property inventory. If there's any documents, say like a National Register nomination, that will pop up there. And then also if there's an inventory that was created in a project, then the projects will actually show up here. So you can see when those inventories were created and in what project. So that's super helpful for doing research as well. And then you'll notice that there are a couple buttons up here. So you can show on map. If you click that, it will take you to where that property is on the map. So I'll just click it just to show you. So here's where the silo is, right there. Pretty helpful. Going back to the search tab to show you the other buttons. And it will save the search until you refresh the page as well. So go back to property, and then the dog silo that we're on. So show on map, there's also the detail button and the print button. So the detail button, if you click that, it will take you to the historic property inventory itself. So that's pretty helpful. I'm going to close out of this, and it should just take you straight back to the search page. And then the print button it doesn't print out the HPI, it actually creates a PDF for you. So I'll click it just to show you. And it will be like a downloadable PDF for you. So we'll go right here. And that's all the information from the historic property inventory. Alrighty. So, and then also if you do want to refresh just the results of the search page, you can just hit this little refresh button here, and it will. Sometimes it does this too, as you know, Wizard, so fun. So if this ever happens, my number one tip is just to refresh the page, because sometimes Wizard just needs a minute. So I'll just go ahead and refresh it. It's back to working, so it's all good. So maybe, I hope it is. go to the home page and refresh one more time. Okay. So next we'll go through the map tab and how to find properties via the map tab. So you can access the maps same way, you know, either this homepage map or the map tab up at the top. And this way you can, you know, search by address. I'll take you to the search tab up here, this little search box. So you can search by address, by place, so say like Mount Rainier or something like that, or if something has like a specific name like that. Address usually works better if you do have an address, but you know, some things don't have an address. So township and range works as well. If you take this drop down, it will show you like the format of township, range, and section if you have a section too, because it is in like a specific format that it needs to take it in. One thing to note is it does not search for our data. Right now, it doesn't. So you can't put in like a property ID and have it just take you to where that property is. But, you know, address, and the addresses work the same as Google Maps. So if it's an address that is in Google Maps, then it should pop up here. So I'll just do an example to have a zoom in so I can show you the other little tools as well. So put in an address. Usually it has like a drop down. I think right now it's just having a moment, but it will usually drop down and show you the address if like it's not working or something. So that's something to note that's not happening right now, but I'm just going to click enter. Should take me, gosh. Okay. Well, I'll refresh it again. Maybe this time it'll work. Oh, here we go. See, refreshing it often works. So yeah, like you saw, there was that drop down menu here. So I clicked on this one because that's the address I was trying to take it to. It'll take you right there on the map. So that's pretty helpful. And then so there's also you can change the base layer. So say like this could be anywhere. And I want to see the satellite view. So there's over here this little like 4 squares in a square. Like that, it will show you all the different layers, base map layers. So, for example, the imagery hybrid one is the satellite view with the street names. But there's a lot of fun ones to mess around with, so highly recommend just checking those out. Imagery hybrid is the one that I probably use the most. So I'll close out of that. Let's see. There's also the DAHP layers. So that's how you find out the information that we have mapped or that consultants have mapped or anyone that uses WISAARD has mapped. So that's going to be this layers button where there's a bunch of different layers on the side here on the right side. So click that and you'll see again the layers that show up vary depending on your access level. But everyone should have property layer. So stick with that one. So you'll see there's an eyeball with a slash through it right now. So if you click on that eyeball, it will turn on that layer for you. Might just take a minute. So here you go. You have a little key to show you what the green dots are, what the yellow dots are, all that good stuff. It's also important to note if you click the caret next to the eye right here, it'll expand the menu. So say you only want, there's no lines on the map right now that you can see. Let's say, you know, you wanted, there's lines over here, so I'll zoom in over. You wanted only to see the points, or only to see the lines. You can turn off the lines, you can turn off the points, whichever ones. You'll also see that there's something called inventories derived from assessor. So those dots were actually added during a 2011 survey within CLG, certified local government communities. So King County, Pierce County, those certified local government lands. And they're dots for properties that are over 1975 or older. So, and it helped just kind of create all these dots to help with creating like a predictive model for the built environment. So to help planners know where the buildings that are over 45 years or older are. So that doesn't turn on immediately when you turn on the property layer. So you do have to open expand the caret and then physically click on that eyeball as well. I'm going to zoom over here because it's going to be chaotic a little bit because there's usually a point for every building because I know Tacoma is pretty historic. So yeah, you'll see that they show up as little yellow pale squares. So we'll click on a dot just to show you. Oh yeah, and that's the assessor dots. I bring it up because this reminded me. People will create duplicates if they're like creating a new HPI or something like that. So you'll see like there's two dots on top of each other. So it's always good to check the assessor dots if you are creating a new property in WISAARD just beforehand so that you don't create a duplicate record. So we'll click on a random dot here just to show you. So yeah, click on it, make sure you're clicking on the dot itself and it will take a minute to load. So it looks like it's doing nothing, right? But it is. Just give it a minute. It'll load eventually. Yep. Eventually load. I promise. Maybe it was, maybe I didn't click right on the dot. But you'll see, so like when I clicked on it, there eventually will be multiple layers that show up, but so you can see like the township range section showed up for this one. There we go. Okay, so that's how long it took. So sometimes it just takes a minute. So you'll see the one of two that popped up here on the little pop out. So if you click that next arrow to 2 of 2, it shows the next layer that I had clicked on, which is the property. So it gives you a little preview to the historic property inventory or HPI. You see the historic name, if there's a common name, the address, a little picture, that kind of thing. If you want to open the record, you can, again, click this little list detail. So I'll just click it to show you. Takes you to the HPI again. Close out of that. It should take you right back to the map. And so this is actually a good thing to note too. The satellite or whatever like base layer you have on, it will reset it whenever you exit out of the map. So I'm just gonna turn it back on, imagery hybrid. So see, it goes faster. I don't know, just depends. There's also that little print button, which is the print PDF that I had showed you earlier, where it just prints out a copy of the historic property inventory, which is helpful. And then, so that's kind of, yeah, how you look at the different properties, and just with any of the other layers too, they'll pop up, for example, register layer, and you can click on the register. Yeah. So you'll see like the different things that are on the register, and same thing, if you click in the area that's highlighted, it will take you to, if you click on the next, it will take you to that record that's for the National Register of Historic Places or Washington Heritage Register. There's also a few other tools that are helpful for when doing record searches or trying to grab an area of search, like a search area. So say you have I'm just going to zoom over to a list here I can read. So say you have a project that is going to be in this block of the neighborhood. You can there's this little pencil over here So I'm going to click that. And then you can either like click draw a point, a line, a polygon, or just a square in general. So since I kind of claimed this little space as my project area, I'm going to draw a polygon. Uh, and then it'll change the little icon that you move around with. And if you start clicking the map I'm just going to create a box around this area, clicking each little point in the corners. And then the last click, so I'm about to finish the square, has to be a double click. So double clicking, and then it created like a box around that project area, and it immediately took me to the search tab again. So anything in that project area, it will create that search result on this search page. So for example, there were 13 properties in that search area. So I can create a PDF list of all the properties that were in that search area, which is super helpful. Or like a project that was mapped, or even like a cultural resource survey. But yeah, so that's basically the map tab as well. Pretty helpful. I probably use the map tab more than the search tab just because I like seeing that geospatial data when I'm looking at a property area or project area. But it's just whatever you prefer. And then the last one I was going to go over for searching is the resources tab up here. So if you're looking for a specific resource, maybe you have a resource ID or a property ID or an address, or it's a very specific name to the property, you can click that little box or that tab up here, and it will have like a find existing resource. And it searches in this box, it searches historic name, common name, and the address of the property and the property ID, of course. So those four things. So I know I know that there's a property ID or a property at 808 South Cushman. So I will just input that to show you. So, and then it does a drop down. So there it is, 808 South Cushman Ave. And I'll just click it and it will take me straight to that property. So that's another helpful one if you have that information handy. But yeah, besides that, those are the three main ways to search WISAARD. As you've seen during this presentation, WISAARD can have its quirks and its moments of needing a minute. So my biggest tip is definitely to, when in doubt, refresh. Just refresh the page. There's no need to like restart your computer or anything. Just refresh the browser. And I actually have another slide I'll just show you for some update or some questions and stuff. So yeah, if you need help with you're seeing my, okay, good. Just want to make sure. So if you need help at all with WISAARD, say something's not working right, reach out to the support at dahp.wa.gov page or email, and they'll help you pretty quickly. They're on top of it. And it also, I mean, WISAARD's often changing. So if you want to stay up to date on any changes that we're making to WISAARD, or any like things like a module that's being updated or something like that, you can sign up for our Gov delivery as well. And gonna hope that Kim's putting the link in the chat to Gov delivery. And that's super helpful as well. But other than that, I'll leave it open to some questions if anyone has any.
The link is in the tutorial.
Perfect.
Or the tutorial, the link is in the chat.
Great.
Oh my God, too many things at once. Okay.
There's also, I meant to say this earlier too, there's tutorials on our website as well, to help with it's basically this information just in a tutorial format. So like a story map kind of follow along thing. So definitely check those out as well. That's how I learned how to use WISAARD. So highly recommend. But yeah, if anyone wants to raise their hand if they have any specific questions, feel free and happy to answer them. All right, so I see a question in the chat that says, is the predictive model for tribal resources reliable? Um, Kim?
Yeah, we don't. This is not a talk about that one. So we will. If you're welcome to contact us offline.
Yeah, we're built environment
We're not
folks.
at liberty to discuss the predictive model. It's not our wheelhouse.
Yeah. Any other questions? Again, if a question comes up later, feel free to reach out to us. Happy to help anytime. I love a awkward pause before I
Oh, there,
close things
Allison
up.
answered the question. So there you go.
Okay, there you go. Perfect.
Maddie, there's a question here. Can you show again how you get back to the beginning map layer?
Beginning map layer. Yes. I'm going to share my screen again. I think no, it's not sharing it. Okay. So I'm thinking you're talking about, so I'm just gonna click the wizard logo. It'll take me to the homepage. You mean like um, sorry, I'm losing it now. How you get back to the beginning map layer. So I just click the little map tab up here. Is that what you mean, or unmute,
Got it.
guys? Oh, as opposed to an aerial layer. So yeah, that's actually a good
Yeah,
point.
yeah, Maddie,
I know what you
like
mean.
you're on this layer and you
Yeah,
change it to aerial,
the base
and then
layer.
all of a sudden you want to go back to the base layer. How did
Yes.
you do that? Because that's something I don't even know.
Yeah, so that's actually a little quirk of Wizard as well. So this guy is talking about so like this base map layer versus say this hybrid satellite layer. So that the first one that I had just shown you is actually not an option on this list of options here. So the only way that you can but basically like the streets version is pretty similar, you'll see. So I usually just open that one if I don't want the satellite imagery again. But if you do want that original layer that it shows, I usually just go somewhere else real quick and then go back because it automatically refreshes to that original layer that it opens with. You got it. All right. See some others in the chat here. How would you describe what Wizard is to the general public? That is a great question. I would say uh it's Washington State's statewide resource for cultural resources. So it's the statewide inventory for cultural resources. Uh, you can find anything on historic properties that we have at DAHP or that people have added, because it's not only just a resource for DAHP, it's a resource for the public. It's a resource for local governments, certified local governments, you know, SEPA reviews, if you do state environmental protection reviews. Um, you can look at cultural resource reports, all that. But Kim, feel free to add to that if you'd
No,
like.
sorry. I was just clearing my throat and I didn't know my microphone was on, but
Oh.
I wasn't trying to interrupt.
No, you're good.
But there is another question that's from Jennifer. She says, if a resource has been demolished, is there a point when it is removed from Wizard? And the answer is
Ah,
no, we
oh,
don't remove them from Wizard. We
yep.
do have a data field now where we can mark something as demolished, and we're working on getting the symbology and the legend to the point where you'll be able to see demolished resources
Mhm.
from the map. So coming soon to a Wizard near you. Good
Yeah,
question.
absolutely. Yeah, because you'll see um, this area, I'm going to turn off the register layer real quick. There's like a block down here that is just all demolished buildings, but you'd never know because the dots just look normal. Um, I don't remember, but yeah, they just look normal on the map right now. But yeah, hopefully with that update, that will be super helpful to identify demolished structures. But if you open a register or a record, it'll tell you
It will
right
tell you if we
here.
know. Often we do not
Yeah,
know.
that's another
So
thing. Yeah.
yeah, so the data about demolished resources is definitely spotty. It's something that we just started recording a few years ago.
Yeah.
So it's a moving forward kind of tool rather than a looking backwards kind of tool.
Yeah, because most of the time when we're reviewing these, it's before a building's being demolished, and then we don't hear about it after that. So it's really just at our discretion when we add it. Um,
You are welcome to tell us when you see resources that have been demolished. It's like one mouse click for us to go in and change it. So
exactly. Yeah, I went through Tacoma, I think, at one point and just added all that. Absolutely. Do you want to tell us, do you want us to tell you when we see a resource that has been demolished? Yep, perfect. That'd be great. Um, how do you get one added to the site? So I'm assuming you mean like how to add a new property to the site? Yes. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to be another presentation for sure. We'll touch on eventually, because that could be a whole other presentation. But I highly recommend checking out.
Check out Recording Historic Properties. We're going to have those on October 24th and November 14th.
Absolutely.
So check the website, sign up for our Gov delivery, and you will get notified when we have those presentations. You can also, yes, check the tutorials because there's tutorials on the website, which Maddie's showing right now, that illustrate how to do that. But you're certainly welcome to contact us directly, and we'd be happy to walk you through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because yeah, it's something anyone in the public can do. So it's not reserved for just cultural resource professionals for the property layer.
Yep. Angela asked, can you just search for reports? And the answer is yes, you can just search for reports.
Yeah, so that's called cultural survey in WISAARD. So yeah, you can do the same thing that I did with the property layer where you click the filter and if you know what a report is called, you can do that there, or you can turn on, because we also map our reports as well. So you can turn on the cultural resource or cultural survey layer as well, and it will show all the mapped cultural surveys.
So Angela, if you're not aware, the cultural survey layer and the archaeology layer are behind firewalls because they're protected locations often. So they're not, we are not showing them in this tutorial because this is open to the public. You're welcome to reach out to us, and we will be happy to show you how to search for reports on the map or on the search tab.
Awesome. Great questions, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
awesome. Thank you. Nothing else at the moment. All right. Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, yeah, as I said, reach out to us anytime. We're happy to help. And yeah, thanks so much for attending this little tutorial. It'll be on our YouTube after as well, to help people with accessing WISAARD. So yeah, and remember that our other video or other DAHP academies are coming up. Any last words, Kim?
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Have a good
Have a
afternoon.
good one. Bye.